Hi everyone, hi viewers, you're welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to be working on how to retouch your photo using Adobe Photoshop CS6 or newer version. So today we are going to be using CS6 for our work. So here is our image, and this is the one I've edited before. So can you see they are quite different? And this is the older one. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to edit that. So our first step here is to duplicate this layer. So we are going to duplicate. Now to duplicate on any layer, the shortcut for duplication is for you to press Ctrl J on your keyboard, or you can just right click on the layer and click on the duplicate option. So here we have duplicated the layer. Then you can rename the layer by left clicking 2 times. So it should bring an option to rename. Now we have to go to image. So image adjustments and desaturate. So we're going to desaturate it. Meanwhile, it will bring a black and white filter on the image, but don't be afraid, we're still on the way. So I love to make it smart objects. You have to right click and convert it to smart objects. So when you're done, let's move to filter. So filter, then we have to go to order, then we choose hypers. So after clicking on hypers, a new dialog box will show, and by default here, due to the fact that I've used it and depending on the type of image you're using, I'm going to be using 2.1. So if you click on OK, so then we go and change mode into, I'm going to be using linear light. So now linear light is always perfect, but we're not working on that now. So you can just uncheck, then you have to duplicate the background layer again. So by pressing Ctrl J or Command J if you are using Mac, Linux, if you are using Mac. So for those using Mac, you can press Command J, and for those using Windows, you can just press Ctrl J. So now when you are done duplicating, you are free to just rename it. I will be renaming mine here, so don't mind me, the name might be silly, but you can rename it anything you like, just to get it recognized when you're working on it. So after renaming, we are going to filter, then blur. Filter, blur, then you move to the down and choose surface blur. So surface blur, we try to bring the blurriness and the smoothness, so you have to adjust it to fit your own satisfaction. So yeah, I think mine is perfect here, but this is what I want in this case. So I click on OK. So when I'm done, I'm going to create a new layer mask for this layer, then move on the adjustment. So now you have to go to the base and click on adding a new layer mask. So we have to invert it by pressing Ctrl I. So Ctrl I to invert it, or Command I to invert it. Then when you are done, we have to go to our brush tool. So after choosing our brush tool, remember that the foreground color should be white, because we're working on a black layer mask. So to adjust your brush size, you have to adjust it here by right clicking. So we also have this, and always make sure your foreground color here is white. So to change it, you can just press X on your keyboard. It is going to change. So make sure it is on white. Now the opacity tool should be 100. So we are going to start retouching. Now there are some cases in which we are going to reduce the opacity, so I'm just going to speed this place. It is going to be a little bit fast, so you keep retouching. So can you see the smoothness of the image, and the details is already showing. So the smoothness of the image is perfect, and this is what I expect it to have. So now to work on the neck, I will increase the brush size and the opacity should be reduced. Then I'm going to reduce the opacity further. If you check, then so I'm going to brush over the neck surfaces and also the shoulder, so to give us this smoothness of the image. So as you can see, it is quite different from the one we had before. At least there is an improvement. So when you are done, you can increase the opacity back. But in your own case, if you are using another image, you can. It is not necessary for you to increase the opacity, and it might be necessary for you due to the result that you are getting. And if you notice any error, you can just press Ctrl Z or Ctrl Alt Z to undo and also to redo. Then so we are going to keep on retouching. So the ear part, I can just reduce the opacity and just click on the ear part, but I noticed that it has already covered, so I'm going to be reducing the brush size and change the foreground color. So I'm going to press X into black to redo the darker spots. So I have to reduce the brush size and brush that area. So here we are done. Then you can change it back to white. So now after implementing the change, we have to increase our brush size. Then we keep on brushing. So we are going to brush the hair area. We have a little bit of the color there, so it needs to show. Then so can you see? As you can see, look at the image. The image is good and it is very different from the one we had before, and at least we have gotten a better result of the image. So this is the image. So the neck area, I notice that there is so adjusting the neck area and also the jaw. So now if we uncheck it, this is the before image, and if we click on its back, this is our newly adjusted image. Though it is not yet done, we still have some few steps to continue on. So now we have our texturing which we have created before earlier. So if you check on the layer, so you are going to see this texture, but though I notice that the texture is too much, so for you to adjust it, you have to go to the smart filter there. So you have to double click on it to adjust your high pass, so it will bring the dialog box. So I'm going to reduce it to 1.8 or lesser. So I'm going to reduce it. So I'm going to be using 1.7. So as you can see, it has been reduced, but on your screen you are not seeing the details. Then I will love would love to reduce the opacity a little bit. Also the feel, so I'm going to be reducing the feel of the texture, so to give the image a good texture. And I think we are okay like this. Then we have to create a clipping marks just for it to implement in the image. Then also this, you right click and also choose to create a clipping marks on the image. So when you're done, this is the image, and you can still increase its back. So you have to make some adjustment till it meets up to your satisfaction and what you are looking for and what are the details of the image you are trying to get. So this is the details I'm getting, and I am satisfied with the details. I think we are good with this. It is nice and I love. So this is the older one and this is the new. Can you see that there is no difference between the two of them? So let me just create a new duplicate. You can duplicate it if you want more details on it. So as you can see here, as I duplicate the layer, I mean the texture layer, the texture increased. So let me just highlight. You can press Ctrl and Shift, then you choose the layers together and you merge them all together. So I merge them, I merge all the image all together. So here is our image. It has turned to an entire image. So this is the image. So if you check the older one, you notice that it is very the same. So this is the magic, and can you see that it is very simple? This is the one we have done earlier. You will see the video, and also this is the one. Can you see the texture and the details of the image? So it is very good. And thank you guys. This is the end of our video. I hope to see you next time on our next video, where we'll be discussing about frequency separation. Please, at the end of this video, if we really like this video, kindly click on the like button and also to subscribe to receive more notification on our coming video. See you later. Thank you.